Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to budget and save money in your 20s and just all my tips and tricks in order to do so. And if you happen to be new to this channel, hi, welcome. So excited that you're here. A little background about me is that I am a software developer and I graduated about 2 years ago. And in my channel, we just talk about stepping into adulthood as a new grad. So a lot of personal development, a lot of finance, a lot of routines, and just like days in my life. So if you're into that content, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't so already. And also please make sure to like, because that just really helps out the algorithm, and also comment down below. And if you can't think of anything to comment, then comment down a money emoji. Also, just like as a little disclaimer, I am not a personal advisor or anything like that, but I do have a business minor and I did take personal finance classes and business classes. And I'm also a software developer, so I've always been into math and numbers. And I've just been really educating myself, and I feel like I have a really good sense of personal finance now. So I just personally want to share my knowledge with you guys. So hopefully you guys like it and can incorporate this into your life as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so the very first thing that you have to become aware of is knowing your budget. And the way that you discover what your budget is for you personally is by writing out your cash flow coming in versus your cash flow coming out. So I personally would write out just everything that I would spend money on, and then also just like what my income generated for that month. And I did this for around 3 months to kind of get a feel of what I'm spending on and what I'm actually getting, so I can just become more aware. And you don't have to do this every single month. I feel like once you start to do it for a few months, then you start to know how much you're spending and you just become more in control of your money and you become more mindful and all that good stuff. Now, if you're just starting out and you have no idea how your money should even be allocated and you just don't really know how you should be spending your money, well, that is when we come into the 50-30-20 rule, which basically means that 50% of your income can be allocated to needs, which that includes rent, groceries, utilities, just anything that you spend on a monthly basis that you absolutely need to survive. Then 30% is where you can buy non-essential items that bring you joy. So this includes going to the movie theater, buying self-care items, going shopping, and just things that you want to do for entertainment, etc. And then 20% will be savings, which this is very important because this is how you pay off your student loans, you have your emergency fund, and then you also have a retirement plan. Okay, so I personally wanted to dive deeper into the savings portion just because I feel that a lot of people in their 20s don't take this part as seriously, especially if you're on the younger side. And your savings in your 20s is just something so important, because if you start young, you will see more results when you're older. So what you do in your 20s with your savings and investments, etc., you're gonna see such a big return later in your life. Okay, so let's first talk about an emergency fund. This is extremely important because you never know when your car might break down or you might lose a job. So you need to have at least 6 months of your expenses saved up, because you can use that if those unfortunate outcomes do end up happening. You have that like safety net. So it is very important to have at least 6 months. I would honestly shoot for a year just to be extra safe, but at least have 6 months saved up. The next big one is having a retirement plan. And this is very important to start in your 20s because of the power of compound interest. So the sooner that you start investing in your retirement plan, the more money you're gonna get once you retire. And I know that being in your 20s makes it seem like it's so far away and you don't really like to think about it too much, but trust me, your older self is gonna thank you if you start now. And the sooner you start, the better, because again, it'll just compound and you'll get more money. And if you are not employed yet and you're still in school, then you could always open up a Roth IRA and start putting in money that way. And if you are employed and don't know how much to put into your 401k, I would personally put around 10% of your paycheck. Then the next one I want to talk about is debt and paying off your student loans as soon as you can, as well as any credit card loans if you have any. And if you can pay it off earlier than 10 years, then I would totally 100% recommend that, because as you grow older, you're gonna get more debts and you just don't want to be spreading your money in all these different types of debts. So that is why you just want to get rid of your credit card debt and student loan debts. You just want to pay it off. So what I personally did is that I had a set amount that I was going to pay every month in order to pay my $30,000 student debt in 2 years. And lastly, I do want to talk about investing in stocks just because it is very important. And again, this has the power of compound interest. So the sooner you start, the more money that you can see grow over time. So you can just allocate some money per month to put into your Robinhood amount. It doesn't have to be a lot or anything. Obviously, the more that you put, the more outcome you're gonna get. But if you're just starting out, it's okay to just put a few $100s per month. And if you want to learn more about stock investments specifically, please let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to go in depth about it, just because I've been getting really into it and I feel like it has worked for me. So I would love to do more of an in-depth video about that. So let me know in the comments down below. But investing in stocks is just another aspect of what you can put into your savings portion, which is very important. And again, the earlier you start, the better, which is very, very good if you start in your 20s. Now, hopefully you know the power of savings and how important that is. And if you do want to allocate more than 20% into your savings, a good way of doing that is just by decreasing your needs. And one is by looking for more affordable housing, so just looking maybe for roommates or just a cheaper place overall. Another one is spending less on your groceries, so cutting down on going out so much and just cook all your meals at home. And also another big one is not going out for coffee as much. I know that coffee can easily add up, so just cutting down on coffee and just drinking your coffee at home is a very, very big one. And another one is just expanding on side hustles or getting one if you haven't done so already. If you've seen my last video, I will link it down below, but I talk about just like the power of diversifying your incomes and how important that is. So if you don't have an extra income, then I think that will be a really, really good thing for you to do. And lastly, I want to talk about, okay, what is next? What if I already paid off my debts? I already have allocated money. I'm already doing all these things that I talked about. Well, the next thing is to allocate money for your next big purchase. And one of those in your 20s is either buying a house or getting a car, or just literally any big expense that you are thinking about. But if you are kind of in between buying a home and buying a car, then I would personally buy a home first and then get the car, which I feel that a lot of people in their 20s do the opposite. They get a car first and then they think about the house. But if you want to be really smart, I would recommend just getting the house first, because buying a house will put you into debt, but that is good debt, because in the long run, that's going to make you money once you sell the house or you start renting it, versus getting a car that's just going to depreciate in value. And let's say that you spend $50,000 in a car and you sell it for $30,000, then you're just going to lose $20,000, versus buying a house, like let's say you buy it for $100K and then you get to sell it for $130K, then you gain that $30K. So that is just a better buy to do first, and then you can just get the car and save for that. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope that you found this helpful and that you're inspired to be better with your personal finances. Again, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.